Is your LinkedIn profile helping you to stand out? I see so many profiles nowadays that we're making simple mistakes, just simple mistakes. There's 4 of them that I'm going to share with you right now. And the very first one is our photo. So many of us have got a photo that we had taken years ago that we love and we're not updating it. I've got a few more grey hairs, so I need to make sure my photo is up to date. Otherwise, when you see me and I've got dark hair, I'm a different guy. I've got a bit of a beard. Some people change their appearance on a regular basis. Do you have spectacles? All those sorts of things that you've got to make sure that you are showing up on LinkedIn exactly how you show up in real life. People buy from people who they know, like, and trust. And the most important thing that we can do to build that trust is to have an absolutely amazing photograph. Your photograph doesn't need to be professional. Basically, get someone to get your phone and take a photograph of you this close, because what we want is we want this part of you, not the whole of your body. And you can see here from these examples, the different types of photo that we see on LinkedIn. Number 1 is probably because your settings are incorrect. Number 2, great if you work for Pixar or Disney. Number 3, I see this an awful lot. We were at a party, we were at a wedding, we were doing something with somebody else, and there's always someone else in the photo. Number 4, a big smiley face looking directly at the camera, smiling with our eyes. Because when we see someone smiling, we smile back. And so when you see someone on LinkedIn with a nice smiley face, you feel warmth towards them. The next thing we need to do is put a color behind us. Now you can use tools like Canva or remove background. And I have some videos where I actually go greater detail into how to do this. But make sure you get rid of all your background and have a strong brand color. If you've got a decent photo on LinkedIn, you will get 21% more views. Who doesn't want that? Here I am, smiling my little face off with yellow behind me. As you can see, yellow is my favorite color. It's a great brand color. Every time you see my smiley face on LinkedIn, I'm reaffirming my brand colors. When we work really well with our brand, we become something iconic like the Golden Arches. Who doesn't want that? What you also need to remember is that 70% of people use LinkedIn on their mobile phones. So therefore, your image is going to be teeny tiny. In fact, it can be as small as 4 to 6 millimeters big. That is a comment on my post on my mobile phone. You are tiny. You need to stand out. So make sure you're smiling and you've got that color behind you. On LinkedIn, the default is our job title, or what we've put in as our job title. So for me, it would be owner at Full Cup Coaching. That is not telling you at all what I do. And you could even mistake me from being a fitness coach, for example. So how about LinkedIn trainer and coach? Again, there's so many coaches and LinkedIn trainers on LinkedIn. We have a preconceived idea of what they do and how they help us. So I'm not really helping you to want to connect with me. The other one could be something formulaic, like so many other LinkedIn trainers do. So it's what I do, how I help you, who I help. And it's very formulaic, and then it starts to get all bland. We need to stand out. We need to be exciting. Dare I say it, sexy. And this is why I've come up with the 15-minute guy. I've even got it printed on the back of my t-shirt. Being the 15-minute guy makes me stand out, and it sparks curiosity. And when I'm doing presentations and I've got a room full of people, it also has a little smirk about it as well. So come up with something that's a little bit different, a little bit edgy, a little bit funny, a little bit quirky, that you can share who you are and a little bit of your personality. Because the thing is, we're all nosy. So we're going to click on the 15-minute guy to just see who he is. To give you some ideas, here's some that I really love. The scooter riding accountant. It stops her from being just like all the other accountants. Or what about like a peacock at a penguin party? How clever is that? So to give you some ideas, think about what your clients say about you. One of my clients turned around and said, oh my goodness, they think I'm their fairy godmother. Or you could have an unusual name that you could bring into what you do. Or maybe, how about the hobby that you love doing? Or maybe something that fires you up. Come up with something a little bit different and make sure you stand out. The next thing we need to fix on our LinkedIn profile is our banner. So just do me a favor and hold your finger up, Because if you look at this part of your finger, that is the size of your banner on my mobile phone. If you're putting too much on that banner, I'm not going to be able to read it. If it's vague, I'm not going to understand what you do. If it's packed with lots of information, I'm going to be confused. I need a big font that I'm able to read on my mobile phone. Make sure that you tell me exactly what you do, because I need to know, and how you can help me. Now, I may not need your services, but I might be talking to someone later on today, tomorrow, next week, that would be a perfect candidate for your services. And if I don't understand what you do, I can't tell that other person what you do. The other thing we need to be aware of is that we don't cover up where our photos go. So don't go putting any text or anything that's important just here on the banner. Another thing that I say to people is, could my 10-year-old son tell you what you do from looking at your banner? And invariably people say they can't. So make sure that a 10-year-old totally understands what you do. Now, it's not that we get 10-year-old people on LinkedIn. It would be good, because then we'd start doing things a little bit differently. But it's not as if we get 10-year-old children on LinkedIn, but we all behave like 10-year-old children when we're scrolling through our mobile phones. So make sure that your banner stands out and tells me exactly what you do and how you can help me. The very final thing that I tell people about on LinkedIn is the contact details. So many people do not use all of the contact information to get people to see who we are. We're nosy. We want to see who you are. We want to understand what you do and how you can help us. I've got this burning question for you, and I want to pick up the phone and have a chat. At the top of LinkedIn, we get this button that says contact details. Make sure you fill it out, because what happens is you've got space for 3 websites. So definitely your website, could be a YouTube channel, an Instagram channel. Make sure you put on a Calendly link so I can book a call with you. Make it dead easy for me to get hold of you. And the next one is your mobile phone number, or a phone number. Now, if you don't have the facilities to answer the phone all the time, hire somebody to answer your phone. You can pay for services. But if I've got this quick question and I want to phone you right now and you haven't got a phone number, I'm going to go to the next person. Make sure that you've got a professional looking email address. flashash@gmail isn't going to cut the mustard. So make sure that you're using a professional looking email. And finally, why not put your birthday on LinkedIn? You don't have to put your true date of birth on LinkedIn, and it doesn't give the year. So if you're worried about security, you're fine. The reason for putting your birthday on LinkedIn is so that all of your followers get reminded that you exist on that date. I actually had a chat with one lady and she said, oh my goodness, yes, I have 4 birthdays a year. So it does work. So there you go. 4 simple fixes for LinkedIn to make sure that your profile stands out. There's such a lot that we can do with our LinkedIn profile, but these are the 4 basics that pretty much everybody gets wrong. So come on, what's stopping you fixing this today? My name's Ashley Leeds. I'm the 15-minute guy, and I help people grow and do great things on LinkedIn. I give them the courage to stand out, all in just 15 minutes a day. If you want to know more, just get in touch. You'll find me on LinkedIn or Google the 15-minute guy.